Do not let anyone reduce you. You are complete.
In Umudum village, tucked between thick forests and red earth roads in eastern Nigeria, there was a saying people used whenever they wanted to insult a man without calling his name. They would laugh and say, "He has 10 children, but he has no child." Everyone knew who they meant. Chukwudi Okori, a farmer, a gentleman, a man whose life proved that sometimes the world is wrong and tradition can be cruel. Sit with me, because this story did not begin with laughter. It began with love. Chukwudi married his first wife, Anena, when Umudum still slept with doors open at night. Anena was calm, respectful, and deeply in love with her husband. She believed marriage was partnership, not competition. When she became pregnant, the whole compound waited. When she delivered, a girl, Chukwudi smiled so wide his cheeks hurt. "A child is a child," he said. The elders nodded politely. But their hearts were already counting something else. 5 years passed. 5 pregnancies. 5 daughters. No son. In Umudum, respect followed sons. Once it became clear Anena was not giving birth to boys, the village changed toward her. Women stopped greeting her properly. At meetings, she was ignored. Younger wives spoke to her without courtesy. "She has filled her womb with girls," they whispered. Anena endured it quietly. But the final blow came when elders stopped allowing her to speak during women gatherings. A woman without sons should listen, not talk, one elder's wife said openly. That night, Anena cried until her eyes swelled. By morning, she was gone. She left without her daughters. Not because she didn't love them, but because she knew staying would poison their spirits. Chukwudi was shattered. But Umudum did not allow men to grieve for long. "You need a second wife. A man must secure his lineage. A tree without a male branch will fall." Under pressure, Chukwudi married Amaka. Amaka was confident, bold, loud. "I will give you sons," she announced proudly. The village cheered. Amaka's first child was a girl. She laughed. "The sun is warming up," she said. Second child, girl. Third, girl. Fourth, girl. The laughter from the village became sharp. By the 5th girl, Amaka was no longer laughing. The same villagers who praised her now mocked her harder than they mocked Onena. At least the first wife was quiet. This one made noise. Shame followed Amaka everywhere. One night, she disappeared. No farewell. No goodbye. She ran. Chukwudi was left with 10 daughters. 10. The village laughed openly now. He would be forgotten, but something strange happened. Chukwudi refused to remarry. "I will not abandon what the gods have given me," he said. Chukwudi became both father and mother. He braided hair with shaking fingers. He learned how to listen. He taught his daughters how to farm, how to speak boldly, how to stand straight. "Do not let anyone reduce you," he told them. "You are complete." The girls grew strong, confident, educated. One after the other, the daughters married. Not desperate men, but good men. Successful men. Men who respected their wives. Slowly, something changed. Chukwudi began to gain sons-in-law. One rebuilt his old mud house into a modern home. Another bought him a car. Another took him to a big city, his first time seeing tall buildings. One Christmas, all 10 daughters returned. With their husbands. With grandchildren. The compound overflowed. Laughter returned. Food finished. The village stood still. The same elders who mocked Chukwudi now greeted him with respect. "Papa," they called him. That Christmas night, an elder whispered, "This man has more sons than all of us," and the saying changed. Chukwudi Okori had 10 children. And finally, the village understood. He had 10 children, but no child, until love turned daughters into a dynasty. Sometimes, society is wrong. Sometimes, daughters are destiny. And sometimes, a man becomes truly rich when he refuses to abandon love. That night, after the Christmas drums faded and the laughter slowly died down, Umudum village lay awake. Men who once mocked Chukwudi stared at their ceilings. Women who once insulted his wives suddenly remembered their own daughters. For the first time, the village understood a painful truth. Some people do not lose because they lack sons. They lose because they lack sense. Chukwudi sat quietly in his rebuilt house, surrounded by love, laughter, and grandchildren who called him Papa, Uku. He did not need to boast. The silence of the village was loud enough, because in the end, the man they called childless was the only one who truly won. And if this story touched your heart, like it, share it. Because somewhere, a daughter is still waiting to be chosen.